What is up, guys? It's Nkat here, founder of Zart's Trade. Welcome to this video. I wanted to show you a trade that I entered, I think, last week. I'll show you exactly what happened, and I'm a little bit stressed for that trade. Why? Because we have a news announcement coming up, but I'll show you exactly the details of why I took that trade. And nevertheless, the condition didn't change, so I'm still staying in the trade, and I'll show you what happened on that trade. So I'm a little bit, you'll see with a couple of lines here. Some of them make sense, but I'll show you how I go about this at first. So the first thing I look at is the weekly chart. And I'll remove a few lines that don't make sense here. Gives you a better picture. So weekly chart, as you can see, we're kind of consolidating on AUD/USD. Okay, so price is between those two limits, two support resistance. And what I want to draw your attention on is the fact that those are really round numbers. Okay, so look at this, 0.77 and 0.75. Okay, so round numbers, both of them. So that's just something to keep in mind, that round numbers are often good support and resistance zone. And sometimes they're not, but sometimes they're going to be really reliable. So in that case, it's a perfect case. Now I'll go on the daily chart to show you that we are really between those two limits, right? Price bouncing a couple of times, and we've been pretty close to those points oftentimes. Now we have this resistance level at 0.77, and this is where my kind of rectangle here came on. When I say that I like to have confluence, I want to show you what I mean. So we had this strong bearish engulfing candle when we hit the resistance level. Now this, I wanted to enter it on a smaller time frame. I'll show you how it could have been possible. I missed it, but I'll show you how that could have happened. So I ended up entering the trade just below this candlestick because it coincides once again with the Bollinger Band reversal, one of my favorite setup. And this is what we have: a strong break outside the Bollinger Band, came back within strongly. And so I ended up entering the trade a little bit below the low there on the daily chart. Stop loss above the candlestick. And take profit now here is going to be a little tricky because we have this low right there. So the way I'm going to take profit in this is I'll take some profit here before we hit the low of the range. But then the rest is going to be at 2-to-1. Okay. So the rest of the profit is going to be there. But I do want to highlight the fact that I will take profit here. Okay. If we come here. Because this is a place, even if it's not 1-to-1, because this is a place where price is really likely to bounce. It's a round number. And it's a support area that's been really strong in the past. Okay, so I'll take profit there for sure, partially. But the other profit is going to be down there, or maybe even lower here. Okay, if I see that price is strong and it's going down strongly. Now, if you were to enter this on the lower time frame, totally possible. Okay, the reason why I didn't enter here is because I was away. I had other things to do, and I just didn't see the chart. But if we go on a 4-hour chart, you'll see that we have pretty much the same setup. Okay, and I'll clear out a few things here. So you'll see that we have pretty much the same setup. The only difference is that instead of entering below right there, as we entered on my example, well, you would enter basically when you have the same setup. And the same setup appears here. Now, it's not as reliable because we had this strong bullish candle right there. But the way you would enter, and you would have probably a bigger reward. So you enter below candlestick here that has been breaking out of the Bollinger Band, engulfing the previous one. Now your stop loss is going to be much smaller. Your stop loss is going to be something like this. And you take profit, well, up to you to decide, but I would put it down there, okay, near the low of the range. So that would give you a much better reward to risk. See how you would have 4 reward compared to your risk, almost. So that's really good. So that's one way you could do it. Okay, I understand that you're gonna have more losing trade like this. It's totally fine, totally possible. But that's the game of trading, right? If you want to have bigger rewards, usually you have to risk a little bit more and you have to have a lower winning rate. Okay, that's totally acceptable. And those are my favorite type of trade. When I can enter like this is my favorite type. But in that case, it's not the ideal. I'm just showing you how you could have done it. And I didn't do it, I admit it this time, but up to you if you want to do it in the future. I'm not sure I'm going to update you on the trade and what I'm doing after that. If I do, well, you're going to see the whole picture. If not, totally fine. But this is really the big picture of what I'm doing. And whatever happens now, even if we were to shoot back up above there and I would get stepped out, okay, I don't care because I did my whole trade correctly. The plan has been done correctly. And I've showed you exactly what I was doing. So this is the video for today. Connect with me if you want to connect. Check out my Facebook group at thisarttotrade.com/group. This is a free Facebook group. And let me show you guys. I'll take a moment here because I do want to show you something. And this is going to be really, really spontaneous. But I think we are about to reach 800 members. Okay, so you see here, I think by the end, and even when this video is going to be published, I think we're going to reach 800 members. And I want to thank you guys for either being in that group or not. Totally fine. But I want to thank you for putting trust into that group and really networking with people, because we had some good conversation going on here. So one discussion today was about the interview I did with Jack Schwager, so with Market Wizard. So check it out. There's a lot of good things. Okay, we have a good member here posting some good stuff. So check this out. It's my pleasure to have this community for free. It's really to help you guys and help you connect with other traders. So I'll put the link on this video. Check it out, and I'll see you pretty soon. Ciao.